Welcome to our St. Patrick's Day Beat the COVID 2021 concert. I am William Monaghan, and you're going to be with me for the next hour with some ballads and rebel songs and drinking songs and sea chanties as we take you through our Melodies and Memories Irish St. Patrick's Day Party edition. And we're going to start things off with the Wild Colonial Boy. Woo! There was a wild colonial boy, Jack Duggan was his name. He was born and raised in Ireland, in a place called Castlemaine. He was his father's only son, his mother's pride and joy, and dearly did his parents love the wild colonial boy. At the early age of 16 years, he left his native home and to Australia's sunny shores he was inclined to roam. He robbed the rich, he helped the poor, he shot James McAvoy. A terror to Australia was the wild colonial boy. One morning on the prairie, as Jack he rode along, and listening to the mockingbird singing a cheerful song, up stepped a band of troopers, Kelly, Davis and Fitzroy. They all set out to capture him, the wild colonial boy. Surrender now, Jack Duggan, for you see we're 3-1. Surrender in the Queen's high name, for you are a plundering son. Jack drew 2 pistols from his belt, and he proudly waved them high. I'll fight, but not surrender, says the wild colonial boy. He fired a shot at Kelly, which brought him to the ground, and turning around to Davis, he received a fatal wound. A bullet pierced his proud young heart from the pistol of Fitzroy, and that was how they captured him, the wild colonial boy. Woo-hoo! The wild colonial boy. It's always how we love to start our Irish party off, with a song about gunfights and rebels and going against the government. No, not really. It's a song about the Irish spirit, and how the Irish spirit follows the Irish people wherever they go, even all the way down to Australia. And our next song is about another fella who had to leave his homeland, and it was heart-rendering for him to have to go off to Philadelphia in the morning.
Here we go.
Oh, me name is Patty Leary, and I come from Tipperary, the hearts of all the girls I am adoring. But before the break of morning should 'tis they'll be all for lovering, when I'm off to Philadelphia in the morning, with me bundle on me shoulder, and this moment could be bolder. I'm leaving now the place that I was born in. Well, I likely took the notion for to cross the briny ocean. I'm off to Philadelphia in the morning. There's a girl named Kate Malone that I had hoped to call me own. She's the girl that all my life I've been adoring. But my heart grows sudden weary, how can she be Mrs. Leary, when I'm off to Philadelphia in the morning, with me bundle on me shoulder, and this moment could be bolder. I'm leaving now the place that I was born in. Well, I likely took the notion for to cross the briny ocean. I'm off to Philadelphia in the morning. When they told me I must leave the place, I tried to keep a cheerful face, to show my heart's full sorrow. I was scorning, but the tears will surely blind me, for the friend I leave behind me. When I start for Philadelphia in the morning, with me bundle on me shoulder, and this moment could be bolder, I'm leaving now the place that I was born in. Well, I likely took the notion for to cross the briny ocean. I'm off to Philadelphia in the morning, with me bundle on me shoulder, and this moment could be bolder, I'm leaving now the place that I was born in. Well, I likely took the notion for to cross the briny ocean. I'm off to Philadelphia in the morning, and we're off to Philadelphia in the morning. Here we go. Our next song is the lovely ballad, My Wild Irish Rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows, and someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows, and someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. A lovely ballad. Ireland has so many lovely ballads. Here's another one about Galway Bay. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland, and maybe at the closing of your day, you can sit and watch the moon rise over Clodagh, and see the sun go down on Galway Bay, just to hear again the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadows making hay, and to sit beside a turf fire in a cabin and watch the barefoot gossoons at their play. For the breezes blowing o'er the seas from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they blow, and the women in the uplands digging pratties speak a language that the strangers do not know. For the strangers came and tried to teach us their ways. They scorned us just for being what we are, but they might as well go chasing after moonbeams, or light a penny candle from a star. And if there is going to be life hereafter. Somehow I'm sure there's going to be. I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear land across the Irish Sea. For our next song, we have a tribute to the maker of one of Ireland's most beloved things of all time. Beer. Yes, it's a song called simply Beer, 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 and it's a tribute to our friend Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. A long time ago, way back in history, when all there was to drink was nothing but cups of tea, along came a man by the name of Charlie Mops, and he invented a wonderful drink and he made it out of hops. He might have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king, and to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. The Lord bless Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. A barrel of malt, a bushel of hops, and you stir it around with a stick. The type of lubrication to make your engine tick. 40 pints of wallop a day will keep away the quacks. It's only 8p a halfpenny pint and 1 and 6 in tax. He might have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king, and to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. Oh Lord bless Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. The Furies bar, the Clancy's pub, the hole in the wall as well. It's one thing you can be sure of, it's Charlie's beer they sell. So come along you lucky lads, 11 o'clock she starts. For 5 short seconds, remember Charlie Mops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He might have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king, and to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. The Lord bless Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. The Lord bless Charlie Mops, hey! Well, I think it's time for a toast. We'll have several of these throughout the day. This toast goes like this, so raise your glass. Here's to you, and here's to me. I pray that friends will always be. But if by chance we disagree, to heck with you and here's to me. Drink up. The word whiskey is a lovely Irish word coming from the Gaelic Ishkabaha. Ishkabaha literally means the water of life. Now, James Joyce was very familiar with this idea of the water of life because he was familiar with a street story called Tim Finnegan and Finnegan's Wake. So James Joyce wrote a great big fat thick novel called Finnegan's Wake. And we're not going to read the whole thing today, but we are going to sing the song about Tim Finnegan, who liked to start his day off with a drop of whiskey, a drop of Ishkabaha. They call it the hard stuff. He was a bricklayer by trade, and when he got to the top of his ladder with his hod full of bricks, he got dizzy, and he fell down, and boom! He broke his skull. Well, they carried Tim home, and they had a wake for Tim. And, of course, they got out the punch, and the tea, and the cakes. And then they had some of the whiskey, because you can't have an Irish wake without the whiskey. And then somebody said something, Tim, he looked so good, he never looked better. And somebody else was offended, and they got their shillelagh out, and they started a little fight, and the fight got bigger, and everybody got involved, and they started throwing all kinds of things like tea and cakes and whiskey, and they started throwing the whiskey around, and it was splashing in the air and splashing on everything, and some of the whiskey scattered over Tim's body and splashed on him, and of course, whiskey being the water of life, Well, let's see what happened. Tim Finnegan lived on Walker Street, a gentle Irishman, mighty odd. He'd a beautiful brogue, so rich and sweet, to drive in the world he carried a hod. Now Tim has a sort of a tippling way, with a love for the wit. Tim Finnegan lived on Walker Street, a gentle Irishman, mighty odd. He'd a beautiful brogue, so rich and sweet, to rise in the world he carried a hod. See, he'd a sort of a tippling way, with a love for the liquor. Tim was born to help him out on the work each day. He'd a drop of the creature every morn. Work for the dough, now dance to your partner, while the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. One morning Tim was rather full, his head felt heavy which made him shake. He fell from the ladder and he broke his skull, and they carried him home a corpse to wake. They lapped him up in a nice clean sheet, laid him out upon the bed, with a gallon of whiskey at his feet and a bottle of porter at his head. Whack for the dough, now dance to your partner, while the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. His friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First they laid up tea and cakes, pipes, tobacco and whiskey punch. Then Biddy O'Brien began to cry. Such a nice clean corpse did you ever see? Tim of Ornin, why did you die? Well, shut your trap, says Paddy McGee. Whack for the dough, now dance to your partner, while the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Then Maggie O'Connor took up the job. Ash, Biddy says you're wrong, I'm sure. But Biddy gave her a belt in the gob and left her sprawling on the floor. Each side in the war did soon engage, woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all the rage, and the row and eruption soon began. Whack for the dough, now dance to your partner, while the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Well, Mickey Malone raised his head, and a gallon of whiskey flew at him. It missed a landing on the bed, the whiskey scattered over Tim. Be Daddy revives, see how he's rising, Timothy rising from the bed. Stop whirling your whiskey around like blazes, thundering Jesus, did you think I'm dead? Whack for the dough, now dance to your partner, while the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Whack for the dough, now dance to your partner, while the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Thump-a-dum-bum, woo-hoo! And that's the story of how Tim Finnegan rose from his wake because of the Ishkabaha, the whiskey, the water of life. Another one of our lovely Irish ballads. I always remember my pop-pop Holy Joe McKenty singing the Irish Lullaby. Over in Killarney, many years ago, me mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way. And I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. Toora, Loora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Loora. Hush, now don't ye cry. Toora, Loora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Loora. That's an Irish lullaby. Often dreams I wander to the cot again. I feel her arms a-hugging me as when she held me then. I hear her voice a-calling to me as in in days of yore, when she used to rock me fast asleep outside the cabin door. Toora, Loora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Loora. Hush, now don't you cry. Toora, Loora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Toora, Loora, Loora. That's an Irish lullaby. And now, let's get out your tambourines and drums and your trombones and tubas and your flutes and whistles. And if you didn't bring any of those, well, you can stomp your feet or clap your hands, but please don't be dancing on the tabletops. McNamara's Band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-bum, ba-ba-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, my name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in numbers, we're the finest in the land. We play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play at funerals, well, we play the best of all. Oh, the drums go bang, the cymbals clang, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while all the pipes do play. And Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's Band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-bum, bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Oh, my name is Uncle Julius, and from Sweden I have come to play in McNamara's band and beat the big bass drum. And when I march along the streets, the ladies think I'm grand. They shout, "There's Uncle Julius playing with the Irish band." Well, I wear a bunch of shamrocks and a uniform of green. I'm the funniest looking Swede that you have ever seen. There's O'Briens and Ryans and Sheehan's and Means, they come from Ireland. By Yimbany, I'm the only Swede in McNamara's Band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-bum, ba-ra-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Well, the drums go bang, the cymbals clang, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy bumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's Band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Right now we are rehearsing for a very swell affair, the annual celebration, all the gentry will be there. When General Grant to Ireland came, he took me by the hand. Says he, "I never saw the likes of McNamara's Band." The drums go bang, the cymbals clang, horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes to play. And Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's Band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ra-ba-bum, ba-ba-da-ba-da-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. That's McNamara. Ba-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Hey! Yes, we've had a wardrobe change right in the middle of the show. This is a song, a Dublin street ballad called Molly Malone, also known as Cockles and Mussells. Little Irish tin whistle for you. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set me eyes on the sweet Molly Malone. She wheels her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, but sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her father and mother before. They both wheel their barrows through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her. That was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Her ghost wheels her barrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Molly Malone. Many people really like our next song here. It's a song about a lovely lass who has ideas of betrayal and thievery and setting up an unsuspecting passerby. It's called The Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land, with her hair thrown over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. As I went out walking down Broadway, not intending to stay very long, I met with a frolicsome damsel as she came tripping along. A watch she pulled out of her pocket, she slipped it right into my hand. On the very first day I met her, bad luck to the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land, with her hair flown over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before judge and jury next morning, both of us soon did appear. A gentleman claimed his jewelry, and the case against us was clear. 7 long years transportation, right down to Van Diemen's Land, far away from my friends and companions, betrayed by the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You think she was queen of the land, with her hair thrown over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You think she was queen of the land, with her hair thrown over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I don't know how many Kathleens we have with us today. My guess is many. And, of course, the most special Kathleen to me is my own dear mother. So I'd like to dedicate I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen, to Mom. across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been. Since first you were me bonny bride, the roses all have left your cheek. I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whene'er you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. Oh, I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I will take you to your home again. I will take you home again, Kathleen. She's handsome, she is pretty, she's the Belle of Belfast city. She's a courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? I'll tell me ma when I go home. The boys won't leave the girls alone. Pulled my hair and stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She's handsome, she is pretty, she's the Belle of Belfast city. She's a courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for. They knock at the door and they ring at the bell, saying, oh my true love, are ye well? Out she comes with white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Johnny Mary says she'll die if she doesn't get the bell with a roving eye. I'll tell me ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pulled my hair and stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the Belle of Belfast city. She's a courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? She's as nice as apple pie, she'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell her ma till she comes home. Let them all come as they will, for it's Albert Moody she loves still. I'll tell me ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. I pulled my hair and stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the Belle of Belfast city. She's a courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? She's handsome, she is pretty, she's the Belle of Belfast city. She's a courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Well, the fella in our next song doesn't seem to have too much luck here. Of course, he is a robber. He goes out and he robs Captain Farrell, and he takes his money back and he counts it out. And he takes a nap, and his girl Jenny decides to rob him of the money. She also sends word to Captain Farrell where this fella is, and she decides to fill the guy's guns up with water and to steal his sword. And then the guy gets thrown in prison, and he hopes that his brother will come and break him out, and then they'll have a life roaming the country together. This is called Whiskey in the Jar. To me, that means life can still be good as long as you have some whiskey in the jar. As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol, I then produced me rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for you are me bold deceiver." Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-da. Back fall the daddy-o, what core the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket, and I gave it to me Jenny. She sighed and she swore she never would deceive me, but the devil take those women, for they never can be easy. Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-da. Whack fall the daddy-o, what call the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. I went into me chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and for sure it was no wonder. But Jenny drew me charges, and she filled them up with water, and sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-da. Back fall the daddy-o, what core the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. 'Twas early in the morning, before I rose to travel. Up comes a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced me pistol, for she'd stolen away me rapier, but I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-da. Whack fall the daddy-o, what call the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Now some take delight in the carriages a-strolling, others take delight in the hurling and the bowling, but I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning, bright and early. Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-dum. Back fall the daddy-o, what core the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. And if anyone can aid me, it's me brothers in the Navy. If I can find their station out in Cork or in Killarney, and if they'll come and join me, we'll go roving through Kilkenny. I'm sure they'll treat me better than me darling sporting Jenny. Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-da. Back fall the daddy-o, what core the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Mush-a-ring, dum-a-doo-dum-a-da. Back fall the daddy-o, what core the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Woo-hoo! And now the lovely ballad, Red is the Rose. Over the hill, me bonny Irish lass, come over the hill to your darling. You'll choose the road, love, and I'll make the vow. I'll be your true love forever. Red is the rose by yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. My love is fairer than any. Down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, the moon and the stars, they were shining. The moon shone his rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be mine forever. And red is the rose by yonder garden grows. love is fairer than any. It's not for the parting of my sister Kate, it's not for the grief of me mother, 'tis all for the loss of my bonny Irish lass. My heart is broken forever. Red is the rose by yonder garden grows, fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the bowl. My love is fairer than any. My love is fairer than any. Well, now we have an Irish version of Who Done It? Who done it? Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Listen close, the answer will be revealed in the song. Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so we shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick, that's true. I will lick them, make that through the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. Mrs. Murphy gave a party about a week ago. Everything was plentiful, the Murphys, they're not slow. They treated us like gentlemen, we try to act the same. And only for what happened, well, it was an awful shame. When she dished the chowder out, she fainted on the spot. She found a pair of overalls at the bottom of the pot. Tim Nolan, he got rippin' mad, his eyes were bulging out. He stood up on the piano and loudly he did shout, and he said, who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so we shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick, that's true. I will lick them, make that through the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. Now pay attention, everybody. You might learn a thing or two about this chowder. They took the pants from out the soup and laid them on the floor. Each man swore upon his life he'd never seen them before. They were plastered up with mortar and were torn out at the knee. And only for what happened, well, it was too plain to see. When Mrs. Murphy, she came to, she began to cry and pout. She'd had them in the wash that day and forgot to take them out. Tim Nolan, he excused himself for what he said that night. So we put music to the words and sang with all our might. And we said, who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so we shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick, that's true. I will lick them, make that through the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. The overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. Yeah. There we go. I hope you figured it out. Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder?
Tim Nolan? No.
Mrs. Murphy. Mrs. Murphy.
Oh, Mrs. Murphy.
She used the same pot to wash the jeans as she did to make the soup.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty good chowder.
Yeah. And now we'll take a journey to the lovely town of Tralee. Every August, Tralee hosts a festival and a pageant in which many young Irish ladies participate, and one of them is selected to be the reigning Rose of Tralee for the next year. Tralee is also known worldwide for its lovely rose gardens. Here is the song, The Rose of Tralee. The pale moon was rising above the green mountains. sands. The sun was declining beneath the blue sea, when I strayed with my love o'er the pure crystal fountain that stands in the beautiful Vale of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose in the summer, yet 'twas not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eyes ever dawning that made me love Mary, the Rose of Tralee. The cool shades of evening their mantles were spreading, and Mary, all smiling, sat listening to me. The moon through the valley her pale rays was shedding, when I won the heart of the Rose of Tralee. She was lovely and fair as the rose in the summer. 'Twas not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eyes ever dawning that made me love Mary, the Rose of Tralee. And now another Irish toast. Raise your glasses. May the light always find you on a dreary day. When you need to be home, may you find your way. May you always have courage to take a chance, and never find frogs in your underpants. Hear, hear! And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the Wild Rover. No, never, no more. I've been the Wild Rover for many the year, and I spent all me money on whiskey and beer. And now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the Wild Rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the Wild Rover. No, never, no more. I went to an alehouse that I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I can have any day. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the Wild Rover. No, never, no more. I took from my pocket 10 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskey and wines of the best, and the words that I spoke, they were surely in jest. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the Wild Rover. No, never, no more. And now the sad verse. I'll go back to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they'll caress me as oft times before, sure I never will play the Wild Rover no more. And it's a no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the Wild Rover. No, never, no more. One more time, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the Wild Rover. No, never, no more. almost forgot to sing one of the sea chanties. This is a good sea chanty called What Will We Do with a Drunken Sailor?
What will we do? What will we do?
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Stick him in a barrel with a horse pipe in him. Stick him with a barrel with a hose pipe on him. Stick him with a barrel with a hose pipe on him early in the morning. Way, hey, and up he rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. It sounds like they're not very kind to the drunken sailor.
Not at all.
They never are. Wouldn't be St. Patrick's Day if we didn't get at least one request for Danny Boy. Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And when ye come, all the flowers are dying. If I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I'm lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear those soft ye tread above me, and all my grave will warmer, sweeter be. If you will bend and tell me that you love me, then I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. Oh, Dad. Danny boy, oh Danny boy, I love you so. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. For when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. The lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. For when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away. Well, I hope you have a very happy St. Patrick's season. Yes, it's a season, not just a day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Leave you with these words. The traditional Irish blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. And I wrote this version of the Irish blessing in memory of my grandmother, Mary C. Monaghan. May the road rise up to meet you as you walk along your way. May the sun shine warm upon your face as it rises up each day. And may you find it always in your heart for your enemies to pray. And until we meet again, may God always hold you in the palm of his hand. Always blowing, blowing at your back. May the rains fall soft upon your field and bring you all you lack. And may the path that took you to this life be the same that you take back. And until we meet again, God always hold you in the palm of his hand. May God always hold you in the palm of his hand. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Erin Gobra.
Up with the Irish.